What is up, guys? It's your boy Young Business. A brand new video today. I know it's been a while since I've actually uploaded a video, and that could be explained at another time. But I wanted to bring you guys a current deck that I'm going to be playing for possibly the rest of the format until the new card, Orcust. I think it's like Orcusted or Orcust. I don't know. I'm not even gonna butcher it or attempt it. Nightmare. Basically, it allows you to do more plays than what you can else in the deck, as well as the cool thing is when the new card comes out, the Nightmare Mermaid, since it's considered as a nightmare card, you're able to special summon it from the deck, which is kind of cool. So let's get straight into it. Now, mind you, I am missing a couple cards in the deck, but mainly this is what the build might end up being, unless I find a better build. So starting off with the monsters, obviously, rest in peace. The one Armageddon Knight. You kind of still need a normal summoner, and I am in the Orcust, and this is how I pronounce the archetype. But a lot of people are saying that they're replacing Armageddon Knight with the Scrap Recycler and Mathematician. Now, I fully understand both of them and why you would pick them, because they're still at 3, and it still allows you to do what Armageddon Knight does, minus the sending Militias. I understand that, but I still feel like you need one of those cards that allows you to normal summon and send something to the graveyard, and I feel like Armageddon Knight is still viable with that. So that's it for that. We are still playing the Dark Grapher. Dark Grapher is pretty standard in the deck because of the fact most of the deck is dark anyways. So even if you open up a Militias, yeah, you kind of don't want to. Or if you open up one of the World Legacy Wands, you're able to pitch it, special summon this, and then send one of your Orcust monsters, preferably the Harp, Horror, which we'll get into each effect and what they do. But it allows you to extend your plays, and this doesn't waste a normal summon. But if you need to, it's there. Then we're still running the 2 Militias. Now, people are probably wondering, why are you still running the double Militias since it got hit to 2? Well, my whole thing is, 1, it's a free summon from the deck. 1, even if you open it up and you're able to send it from your hand to the graveyard, and easy summon to make sorcerer because you make the Dino, and if you haven't used Militias' effect to special summon from the deck, you can use the Dino effect to switch to warrior and then make summon sword. So there's that. Then getting into the Orcust, so we run triple of the Harp, triple of the Skeleton, and 1 of the level 1. So to explain what they do, basically the level 1 allows you to basically do what Vega does, minus from the graveyard. So whenever it's banished, now mind you, they are a graveyard-based deck, so there are different variants that you can play while setting them up in your graveyard. Sadly, they're all once per turn, hard once per turns. So the cool thing is, which you'll see, they have a field spell, which will kind of make sense and everything if you haven't seen what the deck does. So basically, whenever you banish this, you can special summon an Orcust from your hand, which is kind of cool. The Skeleton special summons 1 from the graveyard. Accept it, obviously. And then Harp special summons 1 from the deck, minus Harp. So basically they all have that clause, accept that. And then whenever you use or special summon one of them, you only get to special summon dark monsters, which, like I said, most of them are dark. So you're going to be able to go into your shenanigans with the deck. Going more in depth with the monsters that we run. We are running 2 Wand. I like 2 Wand personally, but some people are running 3 because they are running a lure. Some people have actually cut it from the deck, but nonetheless, the cool thing is with this, whenever this is sent to the graveyard, doesn't matter. You can special summon a World Legacy from your hand. Whether if you open up 2 or you have one in hand or you have one to send to graveyard or something like that, you're able to special summon one. And then whenever you banish this, you can special summon I think it's like a dark machine monster, which is kind of cool. So there's that. Now my build is kind of based to go first or second, but mainly I end up going second anyway, so that's why I kind of wanted to run this. The Dino guy, because of the fact, one, he allows you an extra monster whenever you're going second, and he is fodder to make your Orcust link monsters. But all around good card. A lot of people are citing them when they're playing the meta deck, but I love the card in the main. Haven't had any problem. So we're running the Strudel, which is pretty standard, and I'm actually running Dad into the deck because of the fact that it's so easy to set up at least 3 darks in the graveyard and to bring him out. Now, if you're in a certain situation, depending on what you're facing, mind you, Dad banishes and it's not once per turn, which is pretty broken in my opinion, and it helps you break boards. So there's that, but it's also 2,800. Who doesn't want that? Potential OTK. But anyway, I love Dad. Haven't had a problem. I mean, I may have opened up it once and then wasn't able to set up all the darks, but I was able to discard it or something like that. Hand trap wise, I am running double Ogre because it's what I have, and 1 Droll. I don't own Ash still. Rest in peace. Going into the spells, the Orcust Burial. So basically, or I think that's how you pronounce it. But anyways, this field spell allows you to use your Orcust monsters that you control or in the graveyard and make them quick effect. So which means you're able to activate them on your opponent's turn, which is kind of cool. And then whenever it's in the graveyard, besides the turn it was sent, you can pitch a card in your hand, doesn't matter which one, and then add it to your hand, which is kind of cool because then you're allowing your either the setup for Dad or put your Orcust into the graveyards if you haven't used their effects. So I'm only running 1 lure because I only have it, but I would potentially only run 2. Now my reason is because of the fact, yeah, I understand you want to draw your combo pieces and everything, but you also don't want to draw into multiple the Orcust because of the fact that you want to potentially save your normal summon either for Armageddon Night or for something else. That's why I end with other variants, it's better to not run a lure. But basically, a lot of people are also cutting it from the deck, so I might end up cutting it out. But card destruction, it can be a hit or miss. In this deck, it's a hit or miss depending on what you're facing. If you're playing against danger, well, you're SOL. If not, have fun. It allows you to get your Orcust into the graveyard, get their effects if you haven't used them already, and set up for a new hand. 1 DDR. I've thought about running more of these. If I'm able to make Power Tool Dragon to kind of search it, if I already haven't opened up one, that'd be kind of cool. Since the level 1 is a level 1 tuner, I'm pretty sure there's a way. You just gotta find it. I'm running and testing Lightning Vortex because of the fact, like I said, if I go second, I'm pitching 1 to send to the graveyard as my Orcust, as well as getting rid of my opponent's monsters, and this does help you against some link monsters. Firewall is banned, so that doesn't matter. I only have 1 match change second, but I'd actually consider running 2 because of the fact that you're able to make Dark Law in the deck. 1 Monster Reborn. I do have an Ultra one somewhere, but nonetheless. And then I have another one of, which is Foolish Burial. Then we are running triple Instant Fusion, which we'll see here in a minute. It's been testing pretty well. And then, of course, 3 Call by the Grave. Pretty, since it went to 3, why not run it? 2 of the Orcust return. Basically, it acts like a DD draw for the deck. You can send an Orcust or Warrior Legacy monster. I think it's you face up, you control, or 1 in your hand, send to the graveyard, and draw 2. You can only use it once per turn. 2 MST because 1 Draco's a thing, and some other things, but I felt like this. I understand Twin Twister would be a little bit better, but I don't know. I just prefer MST, and then 1 core. Then going to the extra deck, I do have to put Dark Law in there. Mind you, there's going to be a Dark Law in here. I just have to put it in there. Wow, camera, focus. 1,000 Eyes Restrict. You could set up Link Karibo, or you could just take your opponent's monster and then link it away. Again, setting up for the Orcust. 2 of this is basically Ib. Whenever this card is linked, can't be destroyed by battle, which is kind of cool. And then you can target one of your banished monsters, shuffle it back into the deck, and then either you get to set a Orcust spell or trap directly from your deck, and whether it's a field spell or the trap, you don't return. Depending on what your hand looks like, I'd rather have the field spell. If you already opened up the field spell and you kind of need a little bit more cards in your hand, and you still want to be able to have the hand traps to set up for next turn, then get return. Not a lot of people run the other ones in there just because of the fact they don't really do much for you. Then you have the Ningirsu of the deck. The cool thing is, and I'll show you possibly if my camera doesn't die, but potentially you set up this into the extra monster zone and then the other one far away. So you're trapping your opponent basically, being able to activate both their effects with the field spell. Whenever this one is linked and pointed to one, you get to target 2 of your banished machine monsters, shuffle it back into the deck, and then send the one that's linked. Again, it doesn't target, which is kind of cool. And then one of the big, I call him basically towers. He's like a walking skill drain basically for the deck. And the attack becomes 0, which is pretty cool as well. I am running 1 Phoenix and 1 Cerberus because it's the only thing I have. Now, I understand they're not dark, but they can potentially come in handy if you need them. But these might end up getting replaced with something else. And then me running Unicorn, because most builds end up running that. 1 Triple Burst Dragon, 1 Akashik, 1 Deco Talker, 1 Bomber Dragon, and then obviously the Dark Law, and then I'm waiting on Summon Sork to come in. Hope you guys did enjoy the profile. I hope you guys did. If you guys did and are still watching, I gladly appreciate it. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about this deck as a whole. If you guys tested it, let me know your guys' thoughts. Do you guys see a future for this deck? And what are the different variants that you guys would consider running for this deck? So as always, if you like, subscribe, and comment. It's your boy Young Breezy, and I'm out. Deuces.